I'm wearing the same head wrap from my other video. I didn't film it the same day, but I'm just too lazy to do my hair today. So that's why this is happening. Hello friends, it's Neida. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming a video that I have been excited about since I heard about it. I'm filming the Booktube Newbie tag. There was a tag to like introduce yourself to Booktube when I started my channel, but as soon as I found out about it, I was really excited to film it. I was gonna film something else today, my quarantine reading wrap up, which I had filmed previously already, and then Final Cut wouldn't export any of the footage and I had to completely scrap the video. So I was planning on refilming it today, but then I took a nap for 4 hours. So that didn't end up happening, and I figured this would be something just quick, you know, introduce myself to the internet, talk about why I wanted to start this channel, and talk about why I love books. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Alright, but we're gonna get started. So the first question is, why did you start your channel? I think that's twofold, so I guess I can link it up in the cards somewhere, whichever side it's on. If you watched my first video, I recommend you go watch it to kind of understand the inception behind this channel. But I have a bunch of books literally on this shelf behind me. I have a bunch of books that I just own but have never read. I think I counted 34 of them. And part of why I started this channel is because I just want to read through those books and I wanted an accountability measure for it. I wanted something to keep me accountable to actually finishing those books. And so far it's been working. I've read through about 6 of them now. But the other reason that I started this channel is because I love books. Like, I love books. I could talk about books all day. I love reading, and not everyone around me loves to talk about books as much as I do. So I don't know, I just wanted an outlet. I just wanted somewhere where I could talk about reading and not feel like I'm kind of like boring my friends, you know? Okay, I did in fact miss a question. The second question, what fun and exciting things can you bring to Booktube? Really, the thesis of my life is I'm gonna do what I want because no one can beat my ass. So I think just that attitude. That, and also I feel like, so I wanted to say this a bit in my first video, but it ended up being way too long. I feel like what I've seen a lot on Booktube is a lot of, which isn't to be like disparaging because I know what is popular and what's marketed well, but I see a lot of like YA fantasy novels being read, a lot of like high fantasy, a lot of the same series people are discussing, and also a lot of like consumerism and like really fast reading. Like, I read 45 books in a month. Let me show you my like September reading wrap up, whatever. And like really fast reading. Like, I read 45 books in a month. Let me show you my like September reading wrap up, whatever. But I do think that in a way Booktube can promote like purchasing of books without like really engaging with them. Be that like reading them or reading them and then thinking about them critically after you've read them. So I think that I can like bring a perspective of, I'm not really going to be buying a lot of books, at least until I finish all the ones that I haven't finished reading yet. And if I do read books that are like not on that list, they'll probably be ones that I get from the library. A thing that I love about Cindy's videos is that she does library hauls. Love those. And the other thing is, like, I don't read really fast. Like, the max I can read in 1 month is like 7 books, and that's if like 3 of them are really short. So I think just like I'm excited. I think something exciting that I can bring is like a kind of, I guess I could say like a kind of more realistic perspective, like a more realistic reader perspective, because nobody that I know really has time to read as much as a lot of the booktubers I follow do. And I know that's because, like, it's their job to read. Like, their job is to run a booktube channel and read a lot of books every month. But, like, I have another job, I have school, I have a lot of things happening, and as much as I love reading, it's not my first priority, the same way I know it isn't the first priority for a lot of my friends. So I just hope I can bring, like, the perspective of, like, a normal reader. An average reader, I guess I could say, because booktubers are normal readers. They just read so many books in a month that it's a little frightening and intimidating for me. Yes. So the next question is, what is your favorite genre? This is hard for me because I'll read anything, really, and enjoy anything, really. But I guess, like, the genres that I gravitate the most towards are, like, contemporary fiction. It used to be YA contemporary more than anything. I don't know if you can see, like, I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before right there. And above it, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. But so yeah, it used to be YA contemporary, but I think I've kind of, like, aged out of YA. So right now I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I still like reading, what I don't like reading as much. But I would say probably, like, contemporary fiction. I do really like science fiction. I don't know what it would be called. I think it would be called, like, Afrofuturist fiction. Yeah, so I really like Afrofuturist fiction. And I'm a sucker for creative nonfiction. I love a good collection of essays. I love people writing stories about their lives, because that's something that I do as well. So I guess those are my 3 favorite genres. Yeah, I guess. So question 3 is, what makes you excited about this new channel? I think honestly what makes me excited is just having a space to talk about books for as long as I want to. It's as much about, like, just, like, getting the stuff out there as it is about anything else. Like I said, I have all these books on my shelf that I haven't read, and nobody else that I know owns these books, so it's not like I can read them with a friend and then we talk about them together, you know. So I'm just really excited to, like, read all these books, be able to talk about them, but also to, like, engage with the larger booktube community. I get recommendations from YouTube all the time, but I always feel like when I've read a book that somebody on Booktube has recommended and I have thoughts about it, I feel like I'm, like, talking to them in the comments section, but then, like, no one really responds. So I kind of wanted to have my own forum to be able to talk about these books that I'm excited about. I hope that made sense. Yeah. Okay, the next question, number 4, is, why do you love reading? I can't remember a time when I didn't read, when I didn't like it. If I'm being honest, I think my dad indoctrinated me when I was growing up. We had so many books in my house. If I think about it, just in the living room, we had 6 separate bookshelves filled to the brim with books. Like books on the shelf and then books stacked on top of the books on the shelf, just to, like, completely filling all the shelves. And then there were books in the closet, there were books at his office, there were books in his car, like, literally just books everywhere. So I've always been a reader because I grew up around books. My dad would take me after church every Sunday. My dad would take me and my sister to the mall, and if there was a bookstore there, he would be like, what book do you want to read? Or what book do you want this week? And he would buy it for me if I asked. So I think that's why I love reading, really, just because he really instilled in me the importance of it. And from a young age, like, if I wanted like a random pair of shoes or a random outfit, I wouldn't necessarily get it, but if I wanted a book, I would get that. Question number 5 is, what books got you into reading? I'm gonna be that bitch and say Harry Potter. Okay, well, that's not entirely true. I was into reading before I read the Harry Potter series. I had a bunch of friends who were, like, big nerds, and they were always telling me to read Harry Potter in elementary school, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that because I don't do what people tell me. But then I was, like, really sad one day in 3rd grade, and I just saw the first book on my teacher's bookshelf, and I picked it up and I read it, and I was sucked in. it's a good book series. You can't, or I can't deny that. As much as I'm like not a fan of the woman who wrote it anymore, I think it's a good book series and I can't deny that. So I think that's what like solidified my love of reading, is just like the ability to escape into that world and like have someone to relate to. But I think what books like got me into reading in the first place, so like I said, my dad used to take me and my sister to the bookstores at the mall all the time, and like he would buy, when I was little, he would buy me like fairy tale books that had black main characters in them. So I had like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but they were all black. The bears were black somehow. I had Cinderella, but she was black. I had Sleeping Beauty, but she was black. And then he would get me these books, like, I don't know if anybody's read Happy to Be Nappy. And I would get these, like, I distinctly remember these like cardboard books. I think it's called, oh, what is it called? It's about like a little boy in the snow. It's about a little boy in the snow, and it's like a cardboard back book, and I remember that. So like he would buy me all of these books with black main characters when I was little, and I felt like I was represented through that. And so when I got older, it just was like a thing that kind of connected me to literature. Like, I can be represented in literature because he's giving me these books that have people that look like me in them. And that wasn't necessarily the case when I got older and started reading books on my own. I think there's like one black person that speaks in the entire Harry Potter series. Oh, like 3. It's like Kingsley Shacklebolt, Dean Thomas, and Angelica Johnson. But that was like the beginning of it. I was like, okay, cool. It's kind of the same with TV. I love TV too, and I grew up watching like The Cosby Show. What a disappointment. Living Single, Moesha, Sister, like all these things that had like young black characters on them, and I felt seen through those, and so I was always watching TV as a kid. And even as I got older and I saw less and less black main characters on TV, I still was like really into the medium of TV already, if that makes sense. Yeah. The next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Honestly, okay, so some of my favorites are like Read with Cindy, Hannah from A Clockwork Reader, Mina Reads. I love Mina Reads. I got into her because of her, she did like tier ranking books that I read in high school, and like I love that video. That was so fun, and I tend to agree with her opinions on books. So honestly, I think I would just ask them if we can be friends. Like, I think I would ask Hannah where she gets her clothes from, because I always really like her outfits. And I would ask Mina if she wants to go book shopping with me, because like literally I want to be her friend. On the off chance that she ever sees this, like DM me on Instagram, let's be friends. That's creepy and weird, but I'm a Scorpio rising, so I like can't help it. Okay, yes, and I'm pretty sure this is the final question. Final question is, what challenges do you hope to overcome on this channel? I read fairly sporadically. I think I'm like one of those, it's very common, like when you're a kid you read literally all the time, like anything, always, and then you get older and you get into like other, I guess I should make I statements. I got older and I got into other things. I started to be on my phone more, I started to use my computer more, watch more TV, and like the older that I got, the more reading fell by the wayside. I still love books, I still love reading, but I think one of the challenges I hope to overcome is just to read more, really. To read more for myself and my enjoyment. Yes, so that's a challenge that I hope to overcome. I hope to read more. Another thing is I struggle a little bit with like putting myself out there and expressing my opinions, so I'm hoping that that's something that I can really get used to in the course of having this channel. I really want to just like put myself out there more, and kind of like get connected with like-minded people. So yeah, I think those are the two main challenges. Oh yeah, the third challenge, which is huge, I went to communications middle school, communications high school. If there was any like high school, middle school program that trained you to be a YouTuber, it was the ones that I went to. Like, I was doing Final Cut and iMovie from the 6th grade, and still I don't know how to edit. I still don't know how to edit. So that's the final challenge that I hope to overcome. I hope to start understanding how to edit. Yeah. Alright, so thank you all for watching this video if you've watched it, and welcome to my booktube channel. This isn't, I have to be honest and say, like, this isn't gonna just be a booktube channel. I definitely will be talking about whatever I want, because like I said, no one can be my ass. But I think a big chunk of it is going to be me talking about books that I've read, that I want to read, that I've heard about, and my thoughts on them. So, yeah, just thanks for watching this video, and if you're so inclined, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, because there's more content coming your way. Okay, bye-bye!